Greetings all, it's Blue Knight, and welcome back to Slide 3, Honor Among Thieves. Previously, we landed in China and met up with the Panda King for the first time in quite a few years. And we found out the reason why that he has been hiding out in China, but hasn't been the same as he was before. Turns out that his daughter Jane King has been taken prisoner as forced to be married by General Sao. And he's gonna be the main antagonist in this episode, is General Sao. So our mission is to break Jane King free of Sao's grasp, and if we're able to do that, then the Panic King will officially join in the gang. Much to Sly's dismay, perhaps. We'll see how things go from here. Today we're gonna kick off this first phase of jobs in China by going to Bentley's first job, which is called Get a Job. That word did come up a lot in that sense, but we definitely got the official gist of what's going down. Also, we can see off the back of that Carmelita once again has been able to tail us. And I'm pretty sure, unlike in Holland, she will be another guard you have to look out for in the entirety of your time in China. So be sure to worry about that or keep that in mind as things do progress from here on out. Okay, I've activated Sandy Strike. Actually, I need to equip that, but I will show off what Insanity Strike does. Unless that guy died. Oops. My bad. I probably should have seen that coming in hindsight. Okay, let's see another guard we can find before we're able to start Bentley's official job. There's one right there. So we'll put this back. I'll assign the Grapple-Cam back a little shortly. So you activate Insanity Strike, and they hit a guard with it. And when they wake up, they will go off and attack other guards in the area. Just another way, or one way to turn an enemy against their entire allied group, I guess. I guess not finding anyone, but if you did end up finding a guard, he would attack that other unsuspecting guard. I will switch back to the Grapple-Cam because that is going to be needed for this next job.
This is it, General Sao's palace. If we're gonna get at the Panda King's daughter, we'll need an inside track on the wedding.
I'm ready with my costume. With some luck, he'll hire me on as the wedding coordinator.
Great. If you get a chance, try to score the rest of us some jobs as well. You can't have enough operatives on the inside.
No! You can't come out yet, my blossom!
But please, my father will be so worried. Just let me tell him I'm all right. I beg of you, sir, let me out of this prison. Is this the way you woo your wife? You have shown me nothing but cruelty. I'm so unhappy.
Greetings, Honorable General Sao. I have heard of your impending marriage and have respectfully come before you to offer my services as wedding coordinator.
How insulting! I need no help.
My apologies. I mean no disrespect.
Given my genius, I am of course completely capable of organizing the event. However, I might be interested in employing a photographer. A day of such momentous import should be captured for future generations to marvel at.
I have one of the world's best photographers on retainer.
Really? Well, if he truly is world-class, then he might get the honor of chronicling the event. However, I'll need to see some samples before I give him the job.
Of course. I'll have him come by right away.
You'd better not be wasting my time, wedding planner. I get very, very uncharitable when people waste my time.
Okay, Sly. General Sao wants some samples of your work. I've placed waypoints in areas with good photographic potential. Approach the guards while in costume, and they'll probably pose for you. Good luck, pal.
And this is just to introduce Sly's next disguise in his arsenal, the photographer disguise. We'll sign that with... I guess I'll give up the smoke bomb for a little while. Also, we haven't seen rocket boots in action yet, or combat dodge, but I'll show off rocket boots right now. If you want a way to get through the level a little faster, just hold down the button, and you'll be able to get through. You go through really fast, actually. I never really took that into account before. This is essentially what Stealth Slide was back in Band of Thieves, but I guess you go a little faster. That might be the main difference. I'll reset that back to combat dodge since we haven't seen that in action yet. So approach the landmark in disguise and then talk to a guard.
Hey! Bamboo Forest password! Now!
Here's the password, Sly.
Sun, night, moon, night.
Sorry. Just being careful.
Listen up, meatheads. General Sal wants some pictures of his staff, so big smiles all around, or else.
Now I have no idea why Sly would need pictures of Sal's guards. You'd think that would be a little suspicious towards Sal himself, since he wanted to prove that the photographer was world class. This is anything but, in my opinion.
Great shot, but you'll need a few more before talking with General Sal.
I mean, if Sly really wanted to prove he was a world-class photographer, he would have actually gone out of his way to get photos of a global landmarks, but since they're on a limited time schedule, they really don't have that much opportunity to do that. That's probably why. Approach that guard in disguise. Well, too late in disguise. I'm gonna switch back to this momentarily so I can lose this guy. Never distrust or underestimate the use of the smoke bomb. It's always the most helpful gadget that you'll get in this game, in my opinion, or in any of the Sly games for that matter. So the guards we'll find this time around are the Chinese pigs, Chinese tigers, and Chinese monkeys. That's pretty simple to memorize.
Stop there. What's the crypt password?
Uploading you the password.
That's a really easy password. What the hell?
Night, 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 night.
Yes, sir. My mistake.
All right, you stupid guards. Put on some smiles and get in a nice pose. General Sal wants some happy photos. Get it?
On another note, why in the world would Sly need passwords to confer with the guards? It's not like his disguise could blend in with the environment whatsoever. Also, these guys are being really difficult to work with.
That's a good picture, Sly. One more should be enough to impress the General.
I guess you just have to time that right for the picture to actually look good. That was probably the challenge they were going for. At least the final location we can paraglide down to very easily. I thought I had the rocket boost initiated again. I got used to that really quickly. Well, yeah, use that. And then go in disguise. Can't speak to the monkey? Okay, that's weird. There is I guess, a reason for that, but we'll find that out momentarily.
Wait, what
That's
the
a really
hell is this
weird
password?
thing you can come across, though. I've never seen that before.
Sun, moon, day, night.
Oh, didn't recognize you.
Okay, you two. Look happy. The General would like a nice couple shot.
You need a nice shot of the couple, and that obnoxious third guy is messing up the composition. Get rid of him.
That's how you get rid of him. Just use the nearby trap, and he's as good as gone. And now you can take the last photo that Sal needs.
Really, Sly, that's some lovely photography. Show those shots to the General. I'm sure he'll be impressed.
I like how Carmelita's there, but she doesn't suspect a thing. I guess that shows Sly really is a master of disguise.
Hey, Sly, get a few pictures of the General while you're in there. It's always a good idea to study your enemy.
Ah, the paparazzi. Will I ever know a moment of privacy? Make sure you get my good side. It must be quite amusing to observe the effects of power. Why is it that I'm always the center of attention? Oh, nice shot! Here, check out this pose. Impressive, I know.
That'll do it, Sly. I'd talk to the General now while you've got him buttered up.
Greetings, General Sao. As you have no doubt guessed, I'm the world-class photographer, hoping to play a humble role in your upcoming magnificent wedding.
Let me see a sample of your work. I have a keen eye, a great sense of artistic value. I can tell at a glance if you're world class.
But of course, Your Excellency.
You have a strong sense of, compositional regularity and, force perspectivism. These are adequate. You may have the honor of photographing my wedding.
1,000 thank yous, my lord. I'm sure it will be a wedding none of us will ever forget.
I can't believe that actually worked. I guess Sal must really trust or like his men a lot more than you realize, because those photos actually worked out. I don't know, if I was in Sal's position, I wouldn't think those were up to standards, in my opinion. We got a little bit of time left. I guess we'll go through with Grapple-Cam Break-In 2 while we're still around. That job I thought was going to take a lot longer than I thought, but I guess not. You can still use the disguise here in China, even though you do stick out like a sore thumb, but it is the necessary disguise to use to get by the guards if you don't want to engage with them in combat. Speaking of combat, I am going to engage this guy in a fight, so we can actually see what combat dodge is. This allows you to sidestep enemies automatically without the use of the control stick. But why would you need to do that when you could just simply do that by using the control stick at all? It's kind of a wasteless power up the more I think about it, but whatever, it is there to use if you, I guess, find yourself a little lazy or a little too high class to use the control stick. That's my perspective on things, I suppose. Let's rush up to the next Grapple-Cam point and start this next job. Or just next job point, period. After we get this guard out of the way. I never really used the disguise at all, to be honest, because there really is no point in my opinion. The disguise, yes, it is a good way to avoid enemy fights, but they're not that hard to deal with if you know what you're doing. Hence why I don't really use the disguise mechanic that much in this game. I just saw a little bit of rage in action. Just a simple takedown, but it could do no noise now, which will be very, very useful going forward. I love it so much.
Okay, General Sal's center of business is protected with a special double padlock. If we can get inside and past all the security, we should have access to the purchase records for the wedding.
So let's get to pickpocketing those keys.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. The keys are designed with a self-destruct feature, and the guards carrying them are in constant radio contact.
I get it. If we steal a key from the first guard, he'll report it in. Then the second guard will destroy his copy before we have time to pull it.
That's right. We need to steal the keys almost simultaneously. Since you're better at this than me, I should probably go first.
All right, I'll take up position behind the target. Call me when you've made the pull, and I'll pounce.
Affirmative.
This would be a good time to talk about some stuff about China in the Sly Cooper games while we're getting to set up with our pickpocketing portion.
I'm in position for the pull. The second you get your key, I'll go for this one.
Roger, I'm en route for key number 1.
So, originally, China was supposed to be the first level slated in Sly 1, but ended up being moved to the fourth slot in that game. The reason why they did this is that they actually made the China level last. They designed all the other levels first in Sly 1, and then when they were done, they decided to use whatever experience they got for designing the rest of the game and apply that to the China level because they want to make it kind of a first difficult level. But from what I read up, it actually ended up being too difficult for playtesters to get through when they were developing this game. So that's why I got moved to the fourth slot in Sly 1.
I've got the first key. Go for the second before the guards call in. Excellent. The key's intact. Let's meet in front of the general statue for the handoff.
The term they wanted to use for design the China level of originally was exceptionally good, but it ended up being too hard in other words. I find that really funny because, in my opinion, the China level is the easiest one in Sly 1. I have no idea how playtesters thought it was really hard that it could not passed off as like a level 1, as level 1 material. In my opinion, it is so simple to go through.
Nice work. With this second key in my Grapple-Cam, I'm all set up for the inner office.
Sure you won't need my help on the inside?
I'm afraid this is a problem only technology can solve.
Right. Well, have fun with your, technology.
Don't wait up. This could go all night.
So in case you didn't get any idea from the name, you need the Grapple-Cam before you're able to take on this job because it is a necessary gadget in order to advance through the rest of this job. Now we're actually back to being Bentley. I just realized we started as Bentley, and I guess we're gonna end this video as Bentley. That's kind of funny. Alright, let's go over there. And some background information I found out about General Tsao. Apparently he's named after a type of chicken called, I think it's called General Tsao's chicken, which is really hilarious. This strict and stern, almost dictator-like villain was named after a piece of chicken. And he's also, I think, a rooster or a hen. Something like that. I just find that to be really funny that this really hateful villain in this game was just named after a piece of food.
You weren't kidding about the security in this place. Hope your Grapple-Cam can lure a guard onto that pressure plate. Otherwise, you're never getting into that upper level.
But there were multiple spellings for the Tsao name, so that's probably why they decided to go with that name. It's kind of like a joke of sorts. And now we're getting to have a little more entertainment, so to speak, with the Grapple-Cam. Controls are displayed on screen right now. Just use the X button to use the grapple. Circle to distract, which we will use momentarily. And if you need to get out of the Grapple-Cam, hold circle for self-destruct, or just hit triangle to simply exit the Grapple-Cam view. For this next portion of the job, we need to lure a guard onto this pressure plate. So we need to distract this guard and lure him over to this position. Okay, this guy's being really stupid apparently. I gotta move somewhere else to make him climb the stairs. Then go back down. You need to move a little farther. Let's go up here.
Nice. Now, sleep dart him so he'll stay on the plate.
And there we go.
Alright, that opened the door to the upper office. Lure that top guard onto the second pressure plate, and it's sure to turn off the door lasers.
I'm not sure if the guards will leave after a set amount of time. But I guess that's something you should take into consideration. I imagine they won't stay around the pressure plate forever, so you gotta be a little quick on the fly with that sleep dart. So this next guard is all the way on the other end of this hall. And somehow that's actually gonna alert him. I thought it wouldn't for some reason. So that's gonna lure him over here. Then we can just use the distract feature to get him to lure over to the pressure plate for good. Billy does have some legitimately funny lines with this Grapple-Cam.
Sleep him now while he's on the plate. Excellent. The way's all clear. Good thing you've got that afterburner. With nothing to climb on or to jump off of, it'll be your only means to the computer in the upper office.
It is a good thing we upgraded our hover pack back in the last level. I'm pretty sure these guys will be sleeping permanently, so if they do happen to have some loot, this is a good time for you to pickpocket them so you can make some extra cash. Like this guy, aha! Very nice, very, very nice. It doesn't always happen, but when it does occur, it's very lucky that it does happen to be the case. Medium nugget, I wish it was something a little more lucrative, but I will take that. Also smash up all this stuff to get even more cash. I'm gonna do that, since we're getting into some pretty expensive gadgets now at this point in the game. Best to gather as much cash as you possibly can. So I might take a little time to grind up on some loot before we do head to the end of this hallway. This one, I'll use a bomb. Come on, send the hitbox with the square button. I was able to avoid that spotlight, very nice. Gonna keep spinning around like a top until I get to this terminal. This might make Bentley a little dizzy, but the cash is gonna be worth it. I'm pretty sure he would agree on that. After all, he is a thief, and a thief loves, loves, loves money.
Don't be scared, little computer. This won't hurt a bit. A wedding data must be behind these firewalls.
So we're seeing a black hole enemy now. This is the first time that's ever been introduced to us. He's also got a shield too. But he does have an orb we need to access that next gate. Just circle around him and never get too close because of the black hole thing. And there we go. Let's take all these other avatars just for the heck of it. Leave no enemy alive. That's my philosophy. Ow! I just got pelted for that. Okay, I guess that philosophy must have some karma attached to it. But that's not gonna stop me from achieving my goal of eliminating every enemy I see in sight. After all, they are working for the bad guy. They kinda deserve to get their butt handed to them. No matter how many of them there are. It's just my way to, I guess, enforce some sort of complete completionism, in my humble opinion. That's just kind of the way I've always felt. That's one orbit, and now for the other, and we're as good as done with this job, I believe. This should be the end.
Aha! The database is wide open. I'm a capital G genius.
And we're finally done with the break-in. Nice. And that only leaves one last job to take care of in this first phase. But that's gonna be until next time. We've accomplished a lot today as it is. 2 very lengthy jobs we got out of the way. This next one shouldn't take as much time as the first 2 did. At least I hope not. So with that being said, on the next episode, we're gonna take care of Tearful Reunion, whatever that might be, with the Murray. And that guy has to have some loot. I need to pickpocket him really fast. Wait, what am I doing? Sleep dart him? And the loot should still be there. It is. In the last game, I think if you happen to hit an enemy when they do have loot, it would disappear. In other words, it would break. But I don't think that's the case with Honor Among Thieves. They're a lot more lenient with that. Now, as I was saying, next time we take care of this job with the Murray and see what it's all about. Until we meet again, farewell for now.